What's good, people? It's Drill Entertainment Network, and I'm back for another shooting location video. Today I'm doing Mookie from AVB, and I just want to say, I know I haven't posted in a while, and I'm gonna not be posting I'm still gonna be posting as much as I can, but I'm gonna be probably busy for this year, because, hopefully, there's school stuff going on. Hopefully I can, graduate high school and all that shit, and go to college type shit. So I'm gonna be really busy with that shit. But if I got some free time, I'm gonna do my best to get shit out for you guys, make more videos for you guys. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So the report states a man is dead after the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office said he was shot and then crashed his car on the north side at Interstate 95 and Dunn Avenue Sunday evening. JSO responded to the scene just before 5:30 p.m. JSO said the victim was shot at another location before the crash. He was rushed to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead from a gunshot wound. So this article is kind of vague. Surprisingly, for being a shooting committed in broad daylight, in such a public area, there's actually very little information, it seems, about the shooting. And this hit has confused me for a really long time, because I was confused whether I thought, because if you listen to a lot of 1200 members, they self-snitch a lot about this hit, and they'll talk about Mookie dying in slow motion, or they'll talk about him pulling up and how he was killed was he was trying to pull up and drill someone. But then I've also heard that he was just riding around minding his own business when they pulled up on him in the highway and killed him. So what I was thinking was there was two theories. One was that Mookie was just driving around the road on I-95. They, I guess tailed him or something, pulled up next to him on the highway and killed him on the highway. Or what happened was he was trying to drill someone, got shot at a separate location, and then got on the highway trying to get to a hospital or something and died on the way there. And it seems like this is what the report is saying happened. It said he was shot at another location before he crashed, which makes a bit more sense, because this isn't exactly the same thing as the Jake thing, where Jake was killed directly on the highway. They started shooting at him on the highway. It seems like Mookie was shot at some other location, then got on the highway, probably trying to get to a hospital, and died on the way there. Now, if you can see, this shooting took place really close to Dunn's Avenue and Kuka Drive. If you understand the significance of that, that can give you a little hint as to one of the people who's been speculated to have been on this hit. I'd say there's around 4 prime suspects for this hit. There might have been less. It might have just been 2 people. According to the guy who allegedly did this, in a lot of songs he said it was just him and one other person. But there's also been other theories and self-snitching lyrics by other people. So I'm not sure exactly who it was. It might have been 4 people. It might have been 2 people. But what we do know is that the people who did this were from 1200. And one of the main... They were all rappers, too. All the people who did this are rappers. Which is kind of crazy, actually. Like I said, one of them is he has connections up here in the north side by Dunn's Avenue and Kuka Drive up here. Another one is just a very close friend of his. And then... Well, they're all really close. One of them, I don't know if I can say. I'm really trying not to not be too specific, but they're all rappers from 1200 basically. So I think you can probably guess who was there. But anyway, on to the shooting location. This happened around, I believe it was here, because they said it was on the intersection of Dunn's Avenue or something in I-95, and as you can see here, I don't know why it just teleported me. Stop doing that! I'm just trying to be on the road. Look, if you see here, you can see underneath, I believe this is Dunn's Avenue and this is I-95. So the shooting happened somewhere around here. I think it was more up here, actually. At least in the news footage, it seems like he was shot, Mookie was shot, and he was, eventually ended up losing control and crashing out somewhere around here, on the side of the road. I believe he was in a black car. If you look at the news footage, you can kind of see his car. It wasn't super crazy. I don't think his car blew up or anything, but it did crash into, I think it was one of these what are these things called, a barrier or something. If you can see more, if you want to be more specific, we can see how it looked like at the time. And the closest date I have to it would be March of 21, so it looked a bit more like this around the time, because he was killed in August of 2020. And allegedly the motive for this was that Mookie had, a few months earlier, had actually gone to 1200 and had taken some pictures in front of a store where Lil Papa got shot at and was just trolling on them. So he was targeted for this reason. And if you actually hear one of the 1200 members' songs, he said, "Mookie, you know where to find me at. I'm not trusting you like Osama did," or some shit like that, or like, "You want to die like Osama did," or something like that. He's basically the guy that Mookie here was one of the people who was allegedly on Mookie on the hit that killed Mookie. He was kind of like they had a beef going on personally. Like obviously they're enemies because they're both from opposing sets, but they personally had a bit of like a more personal beef. I don't really know why, but they did. Also throughout 2020, this is kind of interesting, but someone pointed this out, and I kind of like I couldn't forget about it. Like it kind of stuck with me. But I was just thinking like they said basically that it seems that 1200 usually is targeting Avenue B, and ATK is usually targeting 6 Block. And that it's kind of like almost like 1200 is into it with the younger generation from A Block, because Avenue B are usually like the younger people, and ATK is into it more with like the older guys from 6 Block, because it's kind of like if you do see it, there's kind of an age difference. Like most people from 6 Block, like I mean, obviously AVB has old heads, 6 Block has shorties, you know, but most of the people from 6 Block, at least the surviving ones, seem to be older, and most of the people from AVB seem to be younger. So it's like it's kind of like you got the ATK is targeting the old heads, you got 1200 is targeting the young heads, which is kind of an interesting thing to point out, thing to see, I guess. I don't really know why that is, though, to be honest. Like, I do think it's kind of interesting how the beef between 1200 and AVB even started, because I'm not even really sure why it did. Like, besides them just being close with 6 Block, I don't really know why it started and why. Because it seems like 1200 would have more reason to beef with 6 Block more than AVB. My theory was thinking about Nate. I feel like there's more to the Nate story, and I might do a location on Nate. But basically, Nate was a 1200 member who was killed around in like 6 Block territory, and people said, or Jacksonville, they tried to pin it on some random dead guy, and said it was over a bitch. But JSO is known for doing like sketchy shit, and just to like clear their clearance rate or some shit to make it look like they're actually solving cases. A lot of times they'll just blame dead people. Like, they'll just pin a murder on dead people to close the case, but I do feel like there's more to the Nate story, because I feel like, I don't know what it is, but I have a gut feeling that it was AVB who killed Nate, and specifically 2 of the younger members from AVB who killed Nate. Because if you look at, like 1200, they hate AVB so much, like, they diss 3-5 so much, like, why would they just be randomly out here killing them? Like, it feels like there had to have been a reason more than just, they're cool with 6 Blocks, so we're gonna kill them. Like, it feels like there had to have been something more to just develop that much animosity that they'd just fucking go at them so hard. Like, honestly, like, if you arguably, like, 1200 and AVB go into it way harder than 1200 and 6 Block. Like, AVB is really 1200's arch nemesis more than 6 Block. I don't really know why, but yeah, I mean, 2020 was like really the beginning of the beef between 1200 and AVB, and 1200 really fucked up AVB for the first for 2020. I think they got 3-5 Mookie. They got 3-5 and Mookie in 2020, and then AVB got Leaky, and then in 2022, 1200 got Mitch, and then AVB got Ramon, and then I think and they might have gotten 30 as well in 2022. So I don't know, but it's been really really heated between 1200 and AVB. I don't really know why, but if anyone like really knows why the beef started necessarily, I think that would be a cool to make a video on, because I already made a video on how the beef started between 1200 and 6 Block. I think it'd be interesting to make a beef breakdown between why the beef started with 1200 and AVB, because it is kind of weird. Like, I mean, it's possibly I'm overthinking it. It's just, they're cool with 6 Blocks, so we're just gonna slide on them. But it does feel like there was some more tension underneath, because there was just so much. It was beyond just, let's just slide on someone. Like, why don't you just slide on Hilltop? Like, right there, that's your main enemy's headquarters. Why are you going to go all the way over here to fucking Brooklyn Road? And I know 3-5 was on live dissing them, but, like, he was kind of a non-factor. So I just don't really get why they were so into it, specifically with AVB. But if anyone knows, maybe drop in the comments or something. I think that would be cool to do a video on. You got more shooting locations, like, to request. I'm still trying to do the Spider K and, what's his name? Strap shooting location. I'm gonna get those out at some point, so yeah, just stay in tune. Wish me luck on fucking SATs and all that shit. Drill Entertainment Network out.